guys! Today we are going to improve our vocabulary and I'm going to tell you what to use instead of said, like, beautiful, smart, saw, big, and small. This is going to be really useful for your daily spoken language and for your exams, especially if you're planning to take TOEFL or IELTS. Because as you know, in the writing and speaking sections, you need to use different words as much as possible. So we are going to start with said. But before we do, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell. I upload new videos every week. So let's get started. So let's take this example. They were in a really crowded room. He was about to leave and she said his name. First, because it is a name she is saying, you can use called instead. They were in a really crowded room. He was about to leave and she called his name. Another way is whispered. If her tone was really down, if she whispers, which is quite like Mike, then you can say she whispered his name. On the contrary, if she was yelling, Mike, you can use either she shouted his name or she exclaimed his name. Shouted, exclaimed. So let's continue to our story. They were in a really crowded room. He was about to leave and she called his name. He turned back and saw her. She said, "Come here." She's asking him to come. She's demanding it. She demanded, "Come here." He went to her and said, "How are you?" And she said, "I'm great." He went to her and asked, "How are you?" She replied, "I am great." Or you can say she responded, "I am great." "Well, you look great," he said. "Well, you look great," he remarked. Remark is an expression of opinion or judgment. So when there's an opinion or judgment made, you can use remarked instead of said. So as we can see, there are lots of options you can choose from. Whichever feels the most appropriate for the context, you can use that one. Called, whispered, shouted, exclaimed, asked, replied, responded, remarked, demanded. The second word I want to talk about is like. We use the word like a lot. I like you, he likes dogs, she likes the sweater. You get the drill. Let's take the sentence, I like you. What are our options? You can say, I fancy you. I favor you. I treasure you. I care about you. I cherish you. I appreciate you. I admire you.
God, I admire you.
So instead of using like all the time in all your sentences, you can use any of these words. Fancy, favor, treasure, care, cherish, appreciate, admire. We also say beautiful or handsome a lot more than we should, which is fine, but let's see what other vocabulary to use for something we think is beautiful.
Why are you looking at me like that?
Because you're beautiful.
You look pretty today. Wow, that dress is lovely. This lamp is very elegant. What a glamorous house. You look so cute with your glasses. That is a stunning painting. She is a gorgeous woman. You could also use beautiful in any of these examples, but pretty, lovely, elegant, glamorous, cute, stunning, gorgeous are some alternatives that you can change it up a little bit from time to time. Don't be scared to use different words in your daily spoken language.
You look pretty.
What did you say?
I said you look shitty. Good night, Denise.
So what about smart? What are the substitutes that we can use for smart? Let's see. Let's look at this sentence. She's a very smart girl. She's going to be so successful when she grows up. She's a bright girl. She's an ingenious girl. She's a sharp girl. She's an intelligent girl. She's a clever girl. She's a wise girl. She's a brainy girl. So bright, ingenious, sharp, intelligent, clever, wise, and brainy are some of the other words you can use instead of smart. Just like said, another verb we tend to use over and over again is saw. Again, I believe this would be really useful for TOEFL and IELTS in the writing and speaking sections. Saw or looked. What else can we say? I was walking and I thought I saw something in the woods. In this sentence, instead of saying saw, you can say, I was walking and I noticed something in the woods. I was walking and I sighted someone in the woods. I was walking and I spotted something in the woods. Another example is, today at the biology lab, we saw a plant growing with an artificial light. Today at the biology lab, we watched the plant growing with an artificial light. Today at the biology lab, we observed a plant growing with an artificial light. Let's take a look into another sentence. He didn't want me to read his journal, but it was open, so I looked for a second, but then I changed my mind. So if you looked, but not for too long, just saw something briefly and then looked away, then you can use glimpsed, glanced at. It was open, so I glimpsed for a second. It was open, so I glanced at it for a second, but then I changed my mind. I looked at it briefly, but then I looked away. I didn't see the whole thing. So on the contrary, if you look at something and you just keep looking and looking and looking to the point where it is disturbing, then you are staring. Stare, to look for a long time with eyes wide open. It was so beautiful, so I stared at it for 10 minutes. Big. Let's take one simple sentence on end. This is such a big table. It would never fit in our living room. So big, very big, really big. What can we say instead of any of those? This is a huge table. This is a gigantic table. This is an enormous table. This is a massive table. This is a giant table. This is an immense table. So instead of using very or really over and over again, you can just use huge, gigantic, enormous, massive, giant, or immense. And the last one for today is small. My best friend recently had a baby and he's the smallest thing I've ever seen. So what can we say for this baby other than small? He is tiny. He's petite. He's miniature. He is mini. He is minuscule. He is bitty. He is diminutive. So I hope you found this video useful. If you want me to keep doing this Improve Your Vocabulary series, comment below, subscribe and hit the bell, and I will see you very soon.